witnessed remarkable skills, knowledge, and expertise displayed by the participating teams. They have demonstrated exceptional problem-solving abilities, effective communication, and an unwavering commitment to finding mutually beneficial solutions. Their dedication and hard work have brought them to the pinnacle of the competition, and they truly, therefore, deserve our appreciation and applause. In this final round, ladies and gents, the stakes are even higher. The participating teams have shown their mettle in previous rounds, and now they face the ultimate challenge, a negotiation that will test their abilities to their limits. With 70 minutes allocated to the actual negotiation, we anticipate a riveting and intense exchange of ideas, strategies, and compromises. But after the proceedings, the judges will take 10 minutes to score the teams. The judges' expertise and experience will be instrumental in evaluating the team's performance based on various criteria, such as their ability to identify interests, build a rapport, find creative solutions, and maintain professionalism throughout the negotiation. These scores will ultimately determine the winners of this competition, but let us not forget, each team present here today is already a winner for reaching this far. The competition, however, doesn't end there. Following the scoring, the judges will provide their valuable feedback for another 10 minutes altogether. So let me make it clear. The sequence is, first, the judges will do scoring for 10 minutes, and then will give their feedback for another 10 minutes. The feedback is the essential part of the learning process, allowing the teams to reflect on their performance, identify the areas of improvements, and enhance their negotiation skills for future endeavors. It is through constructive criticism we grow, and I encourage, therefore, the teams to embrace the feedback they receive with an open heart and dedication so that they would become a better negotiator. Apologies, dropped the paper. I'd like to express my deepest gratitude to Newcastle University, where I proudly called my home for the past 3 years, and J. Grant Lake City University for their unwavering support in organizing this event. Their commitments to promoting negotiation skills and fostering international collaboration is something we never take it for granted. Before we begin, I'd like to introduce and extend my heartfelt appreciation to our esteemed panel of judges, whose expertise and discerning eye play a crucial role in shaping the future of our participants. First things first, please forgive me for mispronouncing your names or the names of your institutes, and feel free to chip in to correct me. Our first judge is Mr. Amit Kapoor, the Joint Managing Partner at JSA. Our next judge is Joseph Dorado, Partner, Global Co-Head of International Arbitration, and idea of, now bear with me here, this is the French word, garrigue. I'm not sure how we pronounce it in English. It could be garrigues, please correct me, UKLLP.
It's actually Spanish and it's garrigues, so you weren't too far off.
Excellent. It's the scrublands found in the Mediterranean, isn't that? That's a...
Oh, that's controversial.
All right. The next distinguished judge for the session is Mr. Vivek Narayan Sharma, Advocate on Record, Supreme Court of India. Further, we have with us Mr. Sahil Naram, Partner at Kaitan. Am I correct, sir?
That's correct, yes.
Kaitan Co., an Advocate on Record, Supreme Court of India. Now, this is important because Kaitan & Co. is one of the oldest law firms in India, founded in 1911.
That's right.
Last but not least, we have Miss Kathleen Rowan Leedy, certified mediator, trainer, Asian tournament judge, and coach as our distinguished panel of judges for this session. Thank you, judges, for being with us. It means a lot to us. To the teams, I want to emphasize that this competition is not just about winning. It is an opportunity to learn, grow, and forge lasting connections with fellow negotiators from different corners of the world. Your presence here today signifies your dedication, passion, and pursuit of excellence in the field of negotiation. Regardless of the outcome, remember, you have already achieved something remarkable. As we enter the final stage of this competition, I urge all the teams to give it their all, to demonstrate the skills and strategies they honed throughout the competition and preparation. Embrace the challenges that lie ahead. Embrace the power of collaboration, and embrace the opportunity to showcase your talents on this grand stage. Once again, I congratulate all the participating teams for their exceptional achievements thus far. Let us witness an unforgettable display of negotiation, prowess, integrity, and respect. May the spirit of fair play guide us throughout this final rounds. Another bunch of important people, the unsung heroes of this competition, are the organizers, namely Param, Garima, and Aditya, and the conveners, Anushka and Kanishk. Thank you, guys. You are global citizens that we must all look up to. The teams, you will begin when I say ready, steady, and go. However, before we begin, let's make sure that everyone is audible, the teams. 12.
Hello, hope you can hear me.
Excellent. 7.
Hi, I hope you can hear me.
Yes, excellent. Your partner, 7.
I hope I'm audible.
Yes, you are.
Thank you.
Right, excellent. So let me set the timer. Ready, steady, go.
Perfect. Well, thank you very much for everyone for coming today. I'd like to extend a very warm welcome to my client, Mr. Sum. My name is Peter Brandon, and I'd also like to extend this very warm welcome to the opposing counsel, Mr. Saint, and his client, Mr. Houston. Now, to begin, I'd like to outline that we're here today to come to a fruitful and amicable resolution to the issues that have previously occurred. And we're also looking today to really ensure that both teams come out of this with a mutually beneficial agreement and just a great working relationship moving forward. Now, to begin, I'd like to begin by setting an agenda. Whilst we're very happy to accept suggestions from the opposing counsel, the agenda that we would like to outline today is we'd begin with questioning from both teams to understand and clarify their interests, as well as finding a common ground for this negotiation. We'd move on then to discuss the shareholdings that each client initially holds in each business. And then finally, we'd come to a mutually beneficial settlement agreement, which ensures good working relations between the clients moving forward. Now, opposing counsel, before we begin with our clients' initial speeches, would you have any amendments to this agenda?
I truly appreciate the agenda that you've set, and we agree with the same. I would like to add 2 more agendas that in the spirit of conciliation, that we settle the past animosity that existed between us. And so this enables us to effectively communicate the business actions that are taken, and also to discuss Mr. Houston's intention of buying the shares in Fixture that is owned by Mr. Sum.
Perfect. Thank you very much for outlining that. I've got it written down, so we'll make sure to keep a note of it. I would also like to invite the opposing counsel, Mr. Saint, that if you believe any agenda points that have been listed are completed, that I would urge you to summarise them when we come to it, just to ensure the negotiation covers each point of the agenda and to assure that the conversation keeps on moving. So whenever you feel like a negotiation point has been covered, please summarise it where applicable. I'll be doing the same. Now, to begin, I'd like to start by letting my client, Mr. Sum, open the floor. Thank you.
Thank you, counsel, for that concise introduction. Firstly, I'd like to thank Mr. Houston and his legal counsel for being here today. I believe that this session is the first step towards any constructive talks and any potential future decisions, and I'm positive that this will be reflected in the meeting. I would, of course, like to sincerely apologize for my comment at the World Economic Forum. I suppose I should have borne in mind that it was your first time there. And as a regular attendee, having known everyone there, I should have opted to be your guide through the event. So I hope that this is effective in conveying my genuine regret. As you mentioned, in the spirit of reconciliation, it was simply a bit of friendly fire in the moment and no hostility intention at all. So let's approach this negotiation with the mindset of win-win outcomes. I think our success should come not at the expense of one another, but rather through collaboration, as well as finding solutions that satisfy both you and me. I think with our experience, with our footing in the industry, the possibilities are vast, and I'm willing to consider different avenues that allow us to leverage these resources and our talents in the most effective and mutually beneficial way.
Perfect. Thank you very much for outlining that. As you can see, it was very just and very just reasoning for your actions. Now I'd love to pass the floor over to the opposing counsel and their respective client.
Thank you so much, counsel. So good evening to one and all present here. I'm Thomas Houston, the responding party, and I'm a passionate businessman known for my bold risks, who fosters the principle of social responsibility. I successfully own the electric vehicle manufacturing company Tamash, which according to the latest reports is worth $30 billion, and the space exploration company Spaceboy, which is of $150 billion market value. I also own companies in fintech and other contemporary domains. This is why I stated that I'm a passionate business person. I firmly propagate scientific and technological advancement for individual and social development through meticulous, precise research and development. I myself have become someone influential through the power of science, education, and the freedom to explore. This is why I take immense pride in being born in this promising land of United States of Admiria, USA, with tremendous allegiance to the freedom to express and be who you are, is the land that has motivated me to be what I am. Before stating my concerns, it is my pleasure to have agreed for this negotiation arranged by Mr. Tan Sum and his counsel, Mr. Peter Brandon. I hope both of you are keeping good. Thank you for initiating this meeting today. Lately, we have been going through a rocky road of business relations, and I hope that today's discussion will be the anecdote to our refreshed beginnings. And Mr. Sum, I do accept your apology. Actually speaking, it was wrong of me to have overreacted upon hearing your statement about me being adequate as a marriage candidate or not. I am actually sorry for that as well. So as you know, business is a dynamic world. It's tough to survive, especially for someone like me who stepped into this world without any family backup or generational wealth. I built my empire from the available resources. I know how important it is to not be influenced by the biased perspectives while growing up. I'm what I am because I believed in my thoughts, and my country is a free country that gave me the opportunity to foster my principles and ideologies and live my life my way. Look at where I am now, successful and happy. I invest, research, and build potential. I like working towards the future and making Earth a better place for the coming generations to live. That is why you will observe that most of my ventures are in contemporary domains. like electric vehicles, space tech, fintech, etc. Electric vehicles are related, electric vehicles and related technology was my dream project because it is so invested and rooted in sustainable development. It is the better alternative in transportation for our planet. I got patents for my innovative ideas and started my journey as an independent entrepreneur in the automobile industry. My ideas were novel and greener. Therefore, the market welcomed me and my company with open hands, shoulder pat, and investments. Every market has competition, and the automobile industry during my advent as a fresher was ruled by Mr. Tan Sam. I myself have always looked up to his company and its leadership. Unfortunately, we were destined to meet and interact as competitors. In a very short span of time, my Tamash outgrew Mr. Sam's multi-billion-dollar company. Our relationship had its ups and downs and associated friction because of the market dominion being our shared goal. As we all know, both of us are leading businessmen and we value our opinions and influence on the general public. Thanks to technology and USA, we have social media now, another modern discovery and gift of the USA to the world. The leading company in this domain is Fixture. Although social media has been around for some time now, Fixture is different. Over 2 billion people use this platform every day to share ideas and form connections. In addition to being able to connect with people across the world, it has also added visibility to public opinion by allowing users to discuss various points of views. I wish there was social media when I grew up. Life would have been so much easier. I could have networked, talked, and known about present people's mindset. It is such a privilege to get to know the raw perspectives and thought process of people on a live platform. According to me, it is the purest form of expression. That is exactly what helped me to grow up. Not just me, but all the successful people who have gained something in life. Pure expression paves path to innovation, and innovation is what the world needs. Fixture is exactly that platform which can act as a catalyst for developing insights, understanding the exclusive expressions of people. Even I have an active account with millions of following. It's easier to communicate to the world now. I was disappointed to see and understand the flaws, restrictions, interventions, and ulterior motives which were being imposed on the users of such an amazing platform, restricting expression and freedom. This is against what my nation stands for. That's exactly what motivated me to come up with an offer, which was to buy Fixture. And to my surprise, more than 1 billion on Fixture were for it. The support was enormous. People know that they are being unnecessarily limited, and they know that this platform will only grow under my leadership. Fixture's nature as a business idea also aligns with my interest in investing and fostering contemporary domains. To me, my vision is building Fixture to be the future of civilization. Through this, we can protect its future from conservative ideas and other external factors. I therefore propose the idea of converting Fixture into a private limited company. I already have a team working on this. They are on talks with Mr. Rhonda East, the creator of the revolutionary social media platform that is Fixture, and other shareholders. However, it is Mr. Sam who is the public company's largest outstanding shareholder with 25% plus shareholding. I use the word plus because nobody knows how much he holds. His initial holding was 25%, but as soon as my proposal to buy Fixture was trending globally as a news matter, and as a result of which the share price tweaked immediately. In spite of that, Mr. Sam still kept purchasing the shares, making it impossible for me to conclude my business acquisition of Fixture without his cooperation. It is pretty puzzling as to why an experienced businessman like Mr. Sam would purchase shares from a bullish market. I'm extremely sorry, but it is impossible for me to believe that it is an act carried out in good faith or genuine business interest. Adding to this was what happened during the Johannesburg interview. As I have told, I did overreact. And Mr. Tansam, thank you for your patience to hear me out, all my concerns. I request you to shed some light on whether you have any specific concerns that I could clear from my side. I am a goal getter. Fixture to be revamped for the better is something I consider as my social responsibility, for which I have to meet my goal of purchasing it. Let's first bring down the hot air by reconciling any personal perspective clashes and move on to clarify our common interests on fixture. I am here to hear you and to come in favorable terms with you, Mr. Sam. I am open and flexible to options. Thank you for your patience. I now request my counsel, Mr. Saint, to further set the pace for our discussion.
Thank you, Mr. Houston, for that introduction. So I'm Mr. Emmanuel Saint. You can call me Emmanuel, and I'm before here today as the legal counsel representing Mr. Houston, the visionary entrepreneur and innovative force behind numerous successful ventures. We gather here today with a shared purpose to navigate the complexity surrounding the future of Fixture, the groundbreaking social media platform that has captivated the world. Mr. Houston's passion for technology, his unyielding dedication to progress, and his unwavering belief in the power of free expression have brought him to this negotiation table. In his pursuit of protecting Fixture's future, Mr. Houston has put forth the proposal to take the company private. His vision is clear. He envisions a platform that empowers individuals, encourages diverse perspectives, and remains resilient against external influences that may seek to undermine the fundamental values of free speech. That being said, I want to establish that I'm here to protect my client's best interest to the best of my capacity and help him reach a settlement that satisfies his needs while also preserving our mutual interests. In doing so, I will be clarifying any technicalities, legal or otherwise, during the course of these negotiations, while also helping my client in checking the viability of the different offers that are put to him. However, I am here today entirely in an advisory capacity, and all the final decisions rest solely with my client, Mr. Houston. I also want to assure you that any personal or confidential information that may be taken down during these proceedings will be destroyed by us immediately after, and we do expect the same from you. So as we embark on these negotiations, I implore all the parties to approach these negotiations with fairness, openness, and a genuine desire to find a resolution that safeguards the best interests of both Mr. Houston and Mr. Sum. I trust that through constructive dialogue and a commitment to finding common ground, we can achieve a mutually beneficial outcome that combines our collective vision, mutual respect, and unwavering dedication to the ideals of this nation. Thank you so much for your attention again, and I look forward to engaging in productive discussions in pursuit of a fair and just resolution to this matter. Thank you. So now that we've all introduced ourselves, I believe we can get on with the agenda. Council?
Yes, so if it's all right, I found your client's introduction very inspirational. I'm so glad that she's come here today with a very positive outlook on this negotiation. I'd like to begin by just double checking with you, counsel, if I can begin with my questioning to ensure clarification from your client.
Yes, that's perfectly all right. I believe we have a few questions from our part as well.
Perfect. I'm sure we'll be able to back and forth, be able to sort out all clarifications that are needed, as well as gain all further information. Now, I'd like to start by asking you, Mr. Houston, about if you wouldn't mind, please could you describe your business ventures currently, what your exact percentages in each of your businesses, how much shareholding you own, if you are the full owner of all your businesses, as well as clarification on your payment company, if that would be all right, just so we can get further clarification. Thank you.
Thank you, counsel. I am not sure whether I would like to take my counsel's opinion on this. Mr. Saint, is it okay if I reveal my exact percentages? Because I am a bit concerned about the privacy that I have. Mr. Saint?
I believe you may reveal the percentage of shareholding you have in Spaceboy, but I believe that with respect to Timarsh, it's a little, I'm a little edgy about that, yes.
So is it okay if I give them a rough idea as to how much, like
Yes,
whether-
how much ownership to an extent, I believe you may reveal to them, but the exact number of shareholding, I don't think it's the best idea right now.
So I think it's better that I reveal that I do hold a major stake. Is that okay? I mean, I don't want to go with the figures because I feel that it kind of violates my privacy as these the opposite counsel, they do not have much to do with my company, so I'm concerned.
My apologies for that. Yes, it is completely understandable if you do not wish to reveal anything. We just wanted to double check which companies you are in ownership of and which companies you do have authority with major stakeholding, just so we're on the same page. So if you could just let
I
us.
believe, counsel, what my client, I'm sorry for interrupting,
Sorry.
but I believe what my client is trying to say is that we have gathered here today to discuss about fixture and the future of fixture and the issues that arose due to my client putting up the statement about acquiring fixture. So I think we should focus more on the social media platform rather than the private ventures of my client.
My apologies. I probably should have given a further justification. Whilst my client is here to discuss fixture, as you know, my client is highly in the vehicle and motor automobile business. So she is really invested in Tamasha, and she was really looking forward to hearing further information on that. But as you say, you are geared to talk about fixture at the moment, so I'm very happy to proceed and we can bring it up later on. Another question I'd like to ask is, in regards to fixture, as you are very interested in the company, would you be able to outline for us and clarify what your main reasons for making it a private limited company if you were to take it over?
Thank you, counsel. I would gladly answer that clarification. Because first of all, as I had mentioned in my open statement, that I'm someone who does stand for social responsibility. And I feel that lately the company is a bit off track, and Fixture is actually not staying to the principles that it's supposed to stay to, which is to support expression and freedom in my nation. And me being a very patriotic, principled businessman who believes in the freedom to express and how important it is for the growth of people and how much it can empower the youth of the country, I feel that I have the responsibility to intervene here and make sure that by giving in my resources and by pulling in whatever I have got, my inputs and my resources, with resources, what I mean is that because I am the most innovative entrepreneur of the country with advanced technology-based IPR, like patent rights, I feel that I could further better the company, like further help it expand, for which I will need to buy that company for its betterment and for the betterment of my country and what my country stands for.
Perfect. Thank you very much for answering that question. It was very clear and precise in your justification. Now, I would like to outline that the majority decision-making of fixtures was given to the owner, Mr. East, who, as you are aware, would be stepping down from his position once you did buy out the company. So my client won't be able to advise on the current situation of fixtures. However, I would like to pass over to my client to give clarifications on her percentage of the company and her reasonings for possibly not wanting it to turn into a private limited company.
Counsel, I would like to add something. Actually speaking, as I had mentioned in my opening statement, we are not really clear about the exact person that Mr. Sam owns in Fixture. We just know that it's about 25%, and I had mentioned that my team is working on getting into negotiation with the other shareholders to buy out the whole company. So as you said, I would like to get a clear clarification as to how much Mr. Sam owns in Fixture. If you could advise your.
Of course, thank you. I'll pass you over to my client for this information.
Thank you so much, counsel. Yes, well, as you know, I've been in the industry for a long time, me and my family as well. Mr. East is a very close friend of mine. Our personal friendship has only grown through time. I've been at Fixture since its early days. I've seen it grow into the revolutionary platform it's become today. And because of the positive experience with Fixture and because of the tremendous growth that I've noticed, not only am I looking to branch out and further diversify, but I was also looking to further invest in Fixture. I believe, having mastered the world of social media, Rhonda has quite a few ventures up their sleeve. As a result, it was my personal opinion before we even met, that they might not have been as meticulous as they could have been in their background check of who might be a worthy owner. Please understand, I am as protective of Fixture as if I had created it myself. I was there at its very conception, and to me, it may well be my baby. That's how I consider it. So we recognize your standing as a pioneer in the industry. However, we are also aware of your tendency to, perhaps not intentionally, but at times inside the media, through your claims, through the controversial aspect from it, as well when making your business decisions, if I may say so. As you mentioned, the bullish trend came into being due to your public announcement. So bearing that in mind, it concerns me that you might not be completely truthful, or perhaps not completely understanding of the public perception or of any investor's perception of your statements about your future for the company. So you say free speech is important to you, but you also mentioned that one of your main aims would be protecting Fixture from any and all conservative ideas and external factors. So if you could be a little bit more specific as to what measures you've put in place and how exactly your team would decide what is conservative and what isn't, that would be helpful in helping me decide if turning over my shares to you and accepting that Fixture would now be a privately owned company is something that I consider a possible future decision. If you could expand on that.
Thank you, Mr. Sam. I do understand your concerns. And I'm also very glad that you are open to selling your shares to me, and you're considering the fact that the company Fixture can be turned into a private limited company. However, the only question that rises here is my capacity and my character and my track record, whether I'll be completely capable of taking up and running this particular social media company with responsibility. So first of all, to start with, I can give you complete assurance from my part that I will try my level best to work towards upgrading this company, understanding that I do have the responsibility to protect it from conservative ideologies. Now, since I am asked by you to kindly elaborate on what are these conservative ideologies. So if we see, lately, our government has been coming up with a lot of restrictions on social media. That is, they have been, if at least one negative comment is posted, the person is immediately removed. There's no warning that's given. But I feel that there's a lack of understanding with regards to lack of understanding with regards to why that person, there's no investigation as to why did that person do it, or there's no second chance given to that person. But that's the way that person expresses himself. That is what our nation stands for. Even if we go through the constitution of our nation, it's about freedom. It's about you be who you are, and that's what the land promises. So sometimes the government is having an upper hand in regulating a company like Fixture, which is actually restricting the people's right to opinionate. So this is actually affecting in such a way that there's a political agenda that is being crept in, where clearly it shows that there's a bias that exists, and the users are getting segregated in such a way that there is a left stance and there's a right stance, which is not healthy for the society as a whole and for the development of the nation. And this really concerns me. So as a person, as a civilian, as a citizen of USA, I've always seen myself as a very neutral person who believes in science and development and technology rather than political inclinations or anything of that sort. So if you take my track record from my school, from my college, even when I've been continuing as a business person. One thing that I've never compromised is my ethics with doing business. Let's keep aside my personal life or how I am or how the world perceives me. But for me, I have a clear demarcation between my personal life and my private life. And my public life. And my public life is my business life. And that's exactly the reason why I kind of lost myself when you commented about me being an ideal marriage candidate or not. So I do understand that I do understand the reason or the cause for this concern, because as you have stated, you know Mr. Rhonda East personally because he's a good friend. Because of our past rivalry and the competition that has been going on with our automobile industry, we never got a chance to know each other and to understand how we are personally. So, let's leave that to the circumstances, but this is what I am. This is how I want to protect the company from conservative ideologies. Adding to that, it's not just about the conservative ideologies. I feel my team has been analyzing this. I'm a big supporter of teamwork. So whatever I do, whichever business I plan to expand on, I always have a team to work with me. So my team, from their analysis, the company and its corporate management is not healthy enough. There is no upgradation. There are competitors for Fixture as well, and they have upgraded in such a manner that they have focused on trade relations, building up online purchases, etc., advertisement platforms within the app. Such kind of opportunities and such kind of upgradation of the app has happened, but Fixture remains quite stagnant. It's not realizing that it has got such a potential. It is not realizing that it has got 2 billion people actively using it. So I feel that if I get to own it, I will not, I'll not be biased, because that's what I am. That's how I am. And I will also make sure that the internal administration is being implemented in such a manner that there is a democracy there. I know private companies, it's not compulsory to have a board, but I would like to have a board in our private company where I would like to offer you also a spot, a significant spot as the advisory council. That would be an asset to Fixture as well, considering your past experiences in the industry. So this is what I would like to elaborate on. So kindly understand that this is a safe transaction. This company in my hands, I promise you, it's going to be more greener, just like my EV company.
Could I just quickly ask for clarification? So firstly, my client really appreciates the reassurance you've given her to your ability to manage the company. However, it seems like your morals really lead you in the sense of free speech, and you really are looking for this platform to allow people to say anything due to the free speech incentive behind it. However, I'd love to know, as a manager, how would you be handling hate speech in regard to racism, discrimination, as it is a fine line between free speech and actually needing to monetize that and keep that, I suppose, limiting free speech due to some users having that hate speech element to it. So I just wanted to double check, would you be removing that sort of content, or would you be allowing that on the platform, as my client might disagree with it?
Yes, Councillor, I do get your concern, and it is a genuine concern. So this is where the technology aspect creeps in. So I had said, like, I have a very strong scientific team as well. We have been.
Could you elaborate? Sorry, is your technology removing these comments, or is your technology? Oh, sorry.
Yes, I'm coming to that. I'm sorry.
Oh, my apologies.
It's okay. It's okay. Yeah. So we have an artificial intelligence that's being developed that could censor out. So there's a difference between censoring out. There's a difference between identifying what is. So there's an algorithm that we have to develop. So right now, Fixture does not have one such algorithm that is strong enough to sense out what is needed and what is not needed. So it's not curbing expression. We're not planning to curb expression, but what we are trying here is to make sure that the crowd is safe. It's a very safe approach. So the technological part is what we are planning to implement here. And there's a complete model, there's a complete administration model and procedural model that my team is ready with. We are willing to share that with you if Mr. Sum is really concerned about it, maybe after the discussion. So you don't have to worry about any of such technical issues or how we'll be dealing with it. We are planned and we know that what we are doing.
So just to clarify quickly, so whilst the app is promoting free speech, you are looking to constrict any hate speech?
Like when we see when it comes to hate speech, I hope you understand there's something called positive criticism and negative criticism. So that's how our algorithm is planning to separate the whole context. If it's a negative criticism, we will warn them and we will let them know that we'll be taking off their content and then proceeding further.
Perfect. Thank you so much for that clarification. Extremely clear. And now my client has a full understanding on the procedures that you're looking to implement. Now I'd like to pass over to my client just to confer the actual percentage of her shareholding, as I don't believe that was efficiently answered earlier. Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Right, as you were concerned about my actual percentage, I would just like to confirm that it is at 41% of the total shareholdings in Fixture, if that clears things up.
Yes, Mr. Sum. So we would also like to know for this 41%, I hope you're convinced of the deal, like you'd not mind me buying your 41% for a sum that you agree on.
My apologies. Before we begin actually the settlement agreement, I just want to double check with your counsel that all questions, background questions have been answered, and all, I believe your agenda point of leaving things in the past and moving on positively has been completed. So could counsel confirm that, please?
Mr. Saint, please proceed.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Peter. I believe, yes, that our aim to reconcile our differences has been achieved and we can move forward with the business decisions that we make. However, I would just like to know one thing from Mr. Sum is that we know that Mr. Houston made a comment on the platform, which received 1 billion likes. And he further announced that he would be planning to acquire the company as well. So we have noticed that this share price surged as well at that current moment. So I would just like to know, Mr. Sum, what were your business analysis when you decided suddenly to acquire these shares when the share price suddenly surged?
Thank you so much for asking me that. As I mentioned previously, upon noticing the bullish trend that came into place, upon noticing how the public reacted, and upon keeping in mind Mr. Houston's track record with his various business decisions, as we all know, your approach in the business is quite bold. I would say it is quite risky at times, and that can be quite expensive. So although it seems to have worked for you so far, congratulations on that aspect. I'm very happy because that doesn't work out for everyone. So I'm happy for you. The Sum family name comes with certain expectations, not to mention the fact that I do consider Fixture to be not literally my own, but I am very protective of it. So I just feared that if it came under the wrong hands, under the hands of somebody that I had no idea of, that I had never spoken to, that Mr. Rhonda East as well did not have much communication with, that I was made aware of. I wasn't too sure about the future of Fixture, which is why I suppose I may have in haste decided to keep it safe by becoming the majority shareholder at the time. However, as Mr. Houston has made clear, they do have some plans they have, I think, if not guaranteed, they have ensured that they will do their best to make sure that everything works out according to plan. So this is the only thing that's made me, now that I've spoken to you, now that we've gotten a chance to communicate today, I am willing to consider selling my shares to you, but it might not be for a sum. I would need some kind of incentive, which is why this meeting is really beneficial, because it allows us to communicate all the potential collaborations, the different avenues that we could discuss potentially between my businesses and between yours.
Thank you for outlining that. Now, I'd like to quickly summarize what agenda points we have covered quickly. So I do believe we have found a common ground in the sense that you are really looking today to improve fixture and hold the majority shares of fixture, if not all of them. And my client is, again, looking to sell the shares due to now having the reassurance of the owner. However, moving forward onto the mutually beneficial settlement agreement, my client would be outlining different conditions she would have for selling the shares. But overall, I believe this negotiation has come up to a great start. And I do believe now we can move on to the actual agreement terms. If it's all right, as you have already produced an initial offer, I'd love to pass over to my client to discuss what other conditions or other factors she'd like to possibly introduce to this agreement.
Thank you so much, Council. So, as you know, currently I have a 41% stake in Fixture, and I don't think I would be ready to sell it just yet, although I am sort of certain about the way that you would handle any ongoing or future decisions with Fixture. I would like to be a little bit more creative in the options that we can offer each other. So, I know that you have a standing on Timarsha. I forget, did you mention your percentage, or is that the one that you were not, that was confidential?
Yes, it's confidential. If it is substantial for us to derive a decision on the 41%, I wouldn't mind revealing it.
Okay.
I'd like to hear what your proposal is. Yeah, please continue.
Correct. Thank you so much. So what I was proposing is, if I am to give over my entire...
My apologies. I believe one of the witnesses might have had their microphone turned on during the negotiation.
Anushka, can you off your microphone, please? Thanks.
Perfect. My client, if you'd wish to continue.
Thank you so much, Council. I was proposing, if I am to give up my entire 41% majority shareholding in Fixture, that would be quite a huge ask for me. I understand it is essential to your requirement for a purchase of the company. I would ask for a significant stake in the electric vehicle company of Timarsha, which is why my council was inquisitive of your own percentage. That is one of the options. Or we could consider an exchange, a technological transfer. So if the electric vehicle patent, as you know, my family business is the automobile industry. My grandfather was known as the father figure of the automobile industry. So our name has been going back decades. There are certain expectations connected to our family name. And I think, especially as we've been moving forward to sustainable mobility programs, initiatives, we would be very interested in the patent for the electric vehicle. So these are our options. Let me know what you think.
All right, Mr. Sam. Thank you. But I have certain concerns. I mean, I have something better, like an alternative to this. So I do understand the stake part, but I am afraid that I'll not be able to offer a significant stake. However, I would consider a 2% stake in my car company, in my EV company. And along with that, instead of the patents and the patent rights, I'm sorry that I'll have to negate that. And instead, what we can do is we can come together, do a collaboration project where you can take 70% of the profits that we generate. So my team in the EV sector, they were planning on coming up with this truck project. That will be electrical vehicle. That will be an electrical vehicle. So we don't mind incorporating your brand into it, and you can work with us, and we can forward the product in the market. And because of the technology, I'm pretty much sure, and the fame that my company holds and your company holds, the product is going to be a huge success in the market. So why don't we think about one such collaboration and a 2% stake. What do you think about it?
Thank you very much for that offer. Unfortunately, my client will have to decline due to it not meeting her interests and wants for this negotiation. What I would like to make aware to both parties is, whilst my client is really looking for the creative solutions to this, I would like to make you aware of the financial aspect of this negotiation. So to compare Fixtures, which is a 2 billion user app where it is somewhat of a discussion board, this can be compared to the app of Twitter, which has a quarter of those active users, and Twitter is worth $15 billion. Now, as Twitter's got a quarter of that, and Fixtures is obviously got 2 billion users, Fixtures can approximately be net worth at $60 billion, and therefore my client's 41% shareholding would equate to $24.6 billion. Now, as we are aware, your patent has been we've been told it's been valued at a few $billion. So I just wanted to let you know, whilst you are quite reluctant to bring the patent into this negotiation, that would be something we would be looking into due to the expensive nature of my client's value of shares. Now, moving back to the collaboration project, we do find it very interesting. However, my client, as you understand, is incredibly interested in the electric vehicles to ensure her family business moves forward into the future. So she would be looking at a lot higher of a stakeholding, and she would be looking at possibly the complete takeover of your vehicle business. If you could discuss that, or possibly just think about a percentage that you would like to value it at.
I would thank you, counsel. Thank you so much for that insight. I would like my counsel to further elaborate on why this particular offer was made and how it's going to be a monetary addition to Mr. Sum. Mr. Saint?
Yes, I want to address the concerns about the patent offer first. So you have to understand, Mr. Sum, that just like Fixture is a baby project for you, the electric vehicle manufacturing company Timmersh was a baby project for my client as well. And this is what really set him apart from every other manufacturer or competitor in the automobile industry. So the patent or the patent rights and the value of the patent itself holds not just economic value, but emotional. And it is like I said, it is, like I said, a baby project for her. So the patent is from her innovation, right? It's his what he made, and so I hope you understand why my client is inclined to not negotiate on the patent rights. I have to emphasize that there's a non-negotiable interest. Coming back to the other offer that we had put to you regarding the collaboration between both the parties, I understand, Mr. Sum, that your family has been in this automobile industry for generations, and your grandfather was a pioneer in the same. I understand that this is a legacy for your family. So, and you were quite struggling with getting ahead of technology or getting along with it and adapting to the current scenarios of the present world and what the youth wants. You've had to look for a lot of lucrative opportunities, I believe. So considering this, I believe that this is really an opportunity for you to be able to get in with this crowd as well, to be able to be in the present era, to be technologically advanced as well. This is an offer that my client is putting to you, knowing your background and history in the automobile industry. So what I'm trying to say here is this is going to be very profitable for you, because we would just be helping you with the technological part of it, and the profits of the same, 70% of the profits would be with you, and this can help you up your game in this industry as well. So coming from competitors like this, I really urge you to consider this offer.
Councillor, I would like to add one more point to what you just said. So the opposite council had raised a concern about the amount that it would be equivalent to. So Tesla is another EV company, just like Temerge, and it's valued at 830 billion. And even my company is valued at around 830 billion. So offering a 2% stake is always a profit for Mr. Sum. And I believe that I'm being really generous here because I value the factor of social responsibility over my business interests. Money will come, money will go, but an influence and an impact that you could make in the society is really substantial. So I request that you consider this 2% stake that we are offering you. Thank you.
Thank you. So just to clarify, you said Tesla was valued at 830 billion and you are valuing your company on the same level as Tesla. Is that right?
Yes, we have reports, the latest reports, as I have stated in my opening statement. The latest reports suggest that we are valued around $838 billion. So that's why I feel that this is a generous offer that we could make to you.
Okay, thank you so much for that clarification. In the event that Tesla is, your company is valued at approximately 830 billion, out of that, 2% would be 16.6 billion. As for Fixture, our 41% stake is valued at approximately 24 billion. So in that case, even if I accepted your 2% option, I would still be missing out financially. So you understand why I cannot accept that option. However, a stake in your electric vehicle company, since the patent is not an option for you, perhaps we can discuss that further, but a stake in your electric vehicle company is still not as appealing as you would like it to be, I'm sorry to say. I do like your consideration. I do like your option of some kind of partnership. I think any kind of collaboration, a joint venture, perhaps between our brands, between our companies would be beneficial. However, I believe that, well, as you know, William Motors holds significant market share in the automotive industry. Tech isn't the only thing these days. So with a robust and loyal customer base, we've had family friends becoming clients, we've had clients becoming family friends, we've had a strong brand reputation going back decades. Our vehicles are synonymous with quality, reliability, and luxury, not to mention our extensive dealership network and global distribution channels that make sure that our car is accessible worldwide. So although we aren't as advanced in the technological aspect as we would like, we are still able to maintain a competitive edge in the market due to all of these various factors. So assuming that we both share a deep understanding of the business world and being aware of the fact that we've both achieved remarkable success, I think we should explore opportunities that leverage our strengths. For you, that strength being your patent, your advancement in the technological aspect in electric vehicles. For me, our reliability, the Sum family name, all of the benefits that can come if we are to collaborate together.
Yes, Mr. Sum, I do understand what you're trying to convey. So I believe that the collaboration project is fine with you. And I'm a bit afraid that you forgot to note the fact that we are offering you 70% profit commission, like profit percent in that project. So that's acceptable, and only the second term is the problem.
My apologies. I just want to clarify what my client was saying. So we do appreciate the idea of a collaborative project. However, as our previous offers have showed, we were intending to look at full takeover of the automobile company, your electric car company, my apologies. However, as you have stated, you reject that offer, and you also reject the possibility of us having the patent for us to make our own cars to support our family business. Whilst again, the collaborative idea is appreciated, you mentioning the 70% profit, it would only be on this one particular car that we make together. So unfortunately, it would not fill our financial needs as much as we would like it to. So what I would like to suggest, coming towards more of a compromising aspect, as you know, are one of your main competitors, William Motors is known as a big competitor in the vehicle industry. We would like to suggest a partnership between your company and ours in the sense of having a 50-50 split on both the shareholdings. So then we could merge together to ensure that my client has the financial needs and a collaboration project would not be needed, as the two companies could merge, and we'd ensure the future. As you know, your morals really suggest you want a cleaner, brighter future, and it really would have global domination in the market. So this would be our next counteroffer, if you'd like to let us know your thoughts.
Thank you, Council. That was a thoughtful offer. But there is an issue here. So even if I agree, we have a board that's already there with regards to Timash. So them approving something of this sort is not in my hands. So I cannot confirm a partnership. That's why I had offered this particular collaboration. And also, I think I do not mind increasing the stake to 3% in Timarash, even though your client had stated that it's not of big interest to him. But I would request Mr. Sam to reconsider, and Mr. Saint, what do you think about this?
Yes, I would side with my client on this one. Mr. Sam, you have to, firstly, I deeply apologize about the patents. It is invaluable to my client and we cannot negotiate on the same. So we really apologize for turning down that offer. Now, trying to bring back the importance of this stake, you have to understand that this company of my client has not been in existence for a very long time, like your company, Mr. Sam. And we understand that there has been brand reputation and brand loyalty from customers as well, while we are just building that up. And we have reached a certain stage right now, but immediately giving you a certain amount of stake would mean different for our company as well. And so that's why I think a 3% is reasonable here. And going back to the collaborative offer as well, we can work on the terms. And if you are ready to negotiate around the terms about this collaboration, and we can also think about, instead of a partnership, we can think about doing this collaboration more often in the future as well, depending on how it works out for us. So the profits that you earn from this will add on to the value that you get from the 3% stake as well. And I believe that would be able to substantiate the amount for the shares that he is getting from you as well. So please, your thoughts on the same?
I would like to pass this over to my client for further information.
Right. Thank you so much, Council. So you mentioned a 3% stake. Could you confirm that based on your valuation of Tamasha entirely, a 3% stake would total 25 billion?
Can you give me a second, please?
Sure, of course. Take your time.
Mr. Sam, it comes approximately to $24.9 billion. So if you're fine with it, or if you're fixing on $25 billion, then we will do the math and we'll figure out like how much percent or how much of stake, how much percent of stake would sum to $25 billion, and then confirm it over the contract when we are signing that.
I would like to quickly mention, so my client would also love to discuss her lucrative investment options for the future. And I know my client is incredibly interested in your SpaceX company, so she might quickly mention her interests in that and the possibility of having a smaller stake in the SpaceX as well to make this deal financially viable and suited to her interests.
Sorry.
Thank you. As I mentioned earlier, investing in fixture was something different for me. It was sort of venturing out of my family business, opting for something of my own, and having grown that investment from whatever it started out with to 25% to 41%, which has proven quite beneficial. That's pushed me to sort of find other opportunities and diversify my investment, basically. So if I am to sell my shares in Fixture, that would take me out of the social media industry completely. However, I know that you are a proprietor of SpaceX as well. I would look forward to what your thoughts are on my having a stake in SpaceX if I am to give up my complete stakeholding in Fixture.
Yes, Mr. Sam, I do get your concern, what you're trying to convey. So, which means you have interest in Spaceboy as well as in Tesla, right? If I'm, I think, okay, all right.
Yes.
So right now, the sum that you are concerned about is 25 billion. And we know that it's business, we need to have a fair deal. So keeping aside the collaboration part, which is something that even I am excited about, because it's not about the business, but you know, it's innovation. It's two superpowers coming together in the automobile industry and experimenting something new. That would be huge news. It would add to our reputation furthermore, and that we are collaborating as a team would actually have a positive impact on the world. So coming to the rest of it, the 25 billion, let's sort that out. Why not 3% stake in my Timarash, because it's valued at 830 billion. And whatever the rest, the gap is to $25 billion. That percent of share, we'll do the math, that percent of share in SpaceX. Do you agree to something of that sort? Just a minute, I would like to hear my council's thoughts. Is this offer viable for our conglomerate of companies?
Yes, I just want to clarify from Mr. Sum if 25 billion is what you're really looking for, or whether you were just confirming with us the value of the shares, that is 3%.
I was just confirming for the time being. We can keep the math for a later bit, but as we keep talking, is that clear enough?
All right, yes. So I think what my client was trying to say here is that she is willing and she is flexible to offering up stakes in Spaceboy as well. But we would have to negotiate around how much, because we have given you some stake in the other company as well. So we have to negotiate around the same, and we would like to hear your concerns or what you want from us, from Spaceboy, that is.
Thank you very much for that. I think it's very clear for my client that she is susceptible to the collaborative idea, but moving from the original collaborative idea in regard to of course, producing a motor vehicle between the two companies. I believe having two collaborative ideas would really make this deal much more in my client's interests, especially with her interests in SpaceX. So what we could suggest is your original collaborative idea, and then having a second one where, as we understand, your competitors Tesla released a Cybertruck in regards to space travel. Now, my client would love to have a collaborative project in that regard, where not only do we produce electric car with you, but we can also partner with SpaceX to again produce advertisement and something like the Cybertruck, but from your company, of course, as you are well known for your industry and knowledge in SpaceX, as well as your electric car company. So we believe those two projects would really motivate my client to feel the popularity, to ensure that her business and her interests are well kept. And of course, my client is very interested, like you said, in the difference between the 3%, making it to 25 billion to be invested in a stake of SpaceX. If that counteroffer would be more suitable for you.
All right, does Mr. Sum want to add something to what your counsel just said before I proceed with my opinion?
No, I think my counsel summed it up perfectly. The reason that I would like to diversify is because, as I mentioned, I am looking to protect my interests, but as well as try to expand into other industries. So I think she stated it perfectly. If you would let me know your thoughts.
Thank you, Mr. Sum. This is brilliant. I mean, as a person who supports innovation and who would love to work with a company that has a lot of reputation and market, and expanding that relationship to my space tech initiative as well. It's brilliant. It's an amazing idea. I would appreciate it. I would welcome it with both my hands open. Only thing is that we have to figure out the exact project. Maybe some engineers from your company and my professionals could form a team and come up with a nice idea that could be launched, whatever the need is. If anything arises, we could definitely agree on something like this. Sure, I'm open to it. I hope my council is also my council. What do you think? Are we fine with it?
Yes. Yes, I believe also that the legal arrangements to be made and the agreements to be made with respect to this collaboration can be done as soon as possible, and it would be also it would also include your conservations and your thoughts. I mean, the contract would be a very open one. Yes.
Could I just clarify that for both projects, we would still be getting the 70% profits from it, just to ensure the financial incentive is still there, along with the creative aspects that my client really finds interesting and intriguing. And these two deals, like you said, we could agree on the two collaborations, the 70% profits from both, and the actual vehicles and the designs will be made by both of our departments.
If
Yes.
I may
Sure,
speak,
sure.
I believe it would not be my best interest of my client to offer 70% of the profits for both collaborations, considering that we are also giving up 3% stake in Timers. So we would, I think, have to work around how much profit would be given out of the collaboration with respect to Space Boy, because this is also something new for this company as well. So if you are open to lessening it down, I think that would be in the best interest of my client.
Yes, council. Adding to that, we have to work out the project in the first place, Mr. Sam, and we need the estimates. So I cannot, so this is it's a different domain. I cannot afford to have a loss or a failure in this particular domain, because this is a very special baby to me. It's one of a kind, and it's very new to the whole of humankind, this particular domain. So I would like to suggest that you consider the percent cut from 70 to at least 50-50 partnership based. Thank you.
So of course, we are here to compromise. We are here today to get a really good, mutually beneficial agreement. So we do understand your need to lower the percentage. Now, what we'd be looking at, as we do understand, it wouldn't be just us and Team Marsha, it would be us, Team Marsha, and SpaceX needing profit. So we could suggest in this one collaboration, it would be 60%, and then you would get 40% for Team Marsha and 40% for SpaceX. I believe that is very fair, and it would ensure my client's best interests are made.
Yes, I think my client would be open to agree to that as well. A 60-40 sounds perfect.
My client, do you have any further information or anything else you'd like to say at this moment in time?
Currently, I have no further concerns. This sounds like a great deal to me.
Amazing. I'd love to summarize if that's all right. So in this negotiation, so we really have looked towards making a positive outlook on this dispute that we've been having. It seems that we have found common ground. It seems that we really are almost there in making a mutually beneficial agreement. So far, what has been agreed is that my client would receive a 3% stakeholding in Team Marsha, and your client would receive the full 41 shares in fixtures. On top of this, any money outside of the $25 billion that the 3% does not cover, that would then be translated into SpaceX shares. And there'll be two really innovative and intriguing projects between Team Marsha and William Motors and SpaceX to ensure that the future is ours, and to ensure that both clients feel like their interests have been heard, and they're really looking towards a collaborative approach and relationship in the future. These projects include the first one between Team Marsha and William Motors, having 70% go to my client in profits, and the second project being 60% of profits going to my client, with 20% going to Team Marsha and 20% going to SpaceX. Opposing counsel, if you'd like to outline anything I've missed out on, you're very welcome to.
No, I think you summed up our discussion so far perfectly, Mr. Peter. I would just like to add that we came into this negotiation under the impression that we would have to fight you, Mr. Sum, over getting the shares in fixture. So I can speak on behalf of my client to say that we are very happy with how this turned out. And we are also very glad that you have been able to, that we both have been able to preserve our mutual interests, and that we all have, I think, ended up benefiting definitely. And this is also going to benefit the social and public world out there as a whole. So thank you once again, Mr. Sum, for this negotiation, and we are very grateful for the same.
Thank you so much, Council. I would like to first start by thanking you, Mr. Saint, for assisting me, and also Mr. Sum, thank you so much. I'm really glad that you did agree for something like this, and I'm so excited that we could further work together, build on our relationship, and make and incorporate innovation into the world of automobile industry, as well as with your help, hopefully in the space ventures as well. And I believe that this is the beginning of something more revolutionary and historic. So thank you so much, Mr. Sum and his council, Mr. Peter. I'm so glad that we all had this discussion and it turned out to be so productive.
My apologies. Could I just quickly confirm timeframes? As the two projects are currently up in the air in regard to the vehicles, could we suggest this agreement is implemented the 1st of August, just to ensure we have all time and we have plenty of time for future talks?
Yes, I think that would totally be doable, Mr. Peter. In fact, we can try to push it even earlier, and I will work with my legal team on the same and get back to you. But yes, 1st of August is a perfect deadline.
Perfect. Thank you very much for being so collaborative, and I'll pass you over to my client for their final thoughts.
Thank you so much, Mr. Houston, as well as your legal counsel, Mr. Sain. Honestly, I didn't know what to expect today, but I am really happy. I'm really glad that you were able to be so collaborative. We were able to come up with such creative options to work together. I am looking forward to venturing out into different fields, space travel, everything else that we've discussed today. I'm really happy that you were able to engage in constructive talks. And I think I'm really excited to be looking forward to working together, as well as to see what you do with Fixture going forward.
Once again, thank you all for coming today, and I'm so glad that we have come to a mutually beneficial agreement.
Yes, I think we can say the same from our side as well. Thank you, Mr. Peter. Thank you, Mr. Sum, for this.
Yes, thank you all.
Well, you absolutely smashed it, guys. And I was privileged to have witnessed this moment. You must be proud of yourselves. On top of that, also, you managed to accumulate 2 minutes. That's something you must be proud of yourselves as well. Right. So before we begin with scoring, let's take a screenshot, shall we? Right. Okay. Let me open that. How do I do this? Interesting. Apologies, these things happen. Oh.